After I found out I was the fake heiress mistakenly taken in by a wealthy family, I decided to just chill. The real heiress shined at the family reunion, and my foster mom told me to learn from her example. Me. If people better than me are still trying hard, why should I bother? My best friend urged me to get a job, so I wouldn't be forced into an arranged marriage. Me. No job comes without some level of insanity, no thanks. I'm all about just being there. As a supposed heiress, I have assets worth millions, so chilling is no problem for me. But here's the catch, I'm a fraud. Awkward, right? A week ago, my parents told me I was switched at birth. Their real daughter, Lucy, had been found, but my biological parents are MIA. They didn't want me to leave, so I'm sticking around awkwardly. Everyone praises Lucy for being the perfect Booth daughter, excelling even when things were tough. Unlike me, who despite the Booth's investment, ended up being nothing but a pretty face. Mom, listening to all the outside chatter, wants me to learn from Lucy. She said, we used to indulge you, but you're grown now. Isn't it time you did something? As if. I'm allergic to trying hard. I just want to take it easy. And honestly, I'm suspicious doing something means they want me to know my place. Without the Booth family name, I can't do anything. How could I find my footing here? Unlike me, Lucy's effortlessly fit into the family in a few days, charming my parents and even handling gifts for the reunion herself. The three of them are happy and all smiles. Watching it, I'm not exactly jealous, but I'm not sad either. I've never been too popular in this family. With a daughter like me, my parents always look worried. I don't try to please people, so we coexist like strangers under one roof. Lucy's arrival brought them hope. So Mom encourages me to bond with Lucy, maybe see how to be a better person. I sigh. You can't just learn that by following someone around. Mom got annoyed. Why can't you learn? We spoiled you before, but now you have a role model. Lucy heard this and looked at me with a hint of triumph. Like she's saying I'll never measure up. Like, yeah right, why should a fake compete? I'm fine just being here. Plus, I'm my own person. Why copy someone else? I replied kind of indifferently, because Lucy's so talented and hardworking. Before Mom could say a word, I added, if people better than me are trying hard, why should I bother? I know what I'm capable of, and avoid wasting effort. Mom got so mad she threw a teacup at me. Listen to yourself. I dodged the teacup and went upstairs, hands in pockets. Behind me, I heard Lucy softly comfort Mom. Linda might just be struggling to accept this, and said that on purpose. If it's too much trouble, I could move out and return when she's settled. What a saint, right? Not taking the blame for that. Mom gasped. How could we? This is your home. I glanced back at Lucy. She met my eyes with satisfaction. She acted all gracious. I only want you all happy. I don't mind being here or not. Mom was resistant. You leaving? That's. She stopped short, catching my eye. I tilted my head. Want me to go? Lucy's foster parents found her near the hospital. She was abandoned after being switched. My identity's unclear, so I'm staying with the Booths for now. Lucy thinks my bio family bailed, leaving me with years of benefits, making me her rival. She wanted me out during the reunion but failed. I realized we can't both stay in this house, even if I'm not competing. I glanced around my empty room. Lucy showed up looking pointed. What are you doing in my room? Oops, my bad. Lucy's first day, she said she liked my room. Given my dubious status, I let her have it. And she caught me again. She smirked. Better get used to it quick. I get it, she wants what's hers back. Whether it's a title or a room. But I'm not fighting for it. Take it. I quickly left and returned to my own room. Ugh. I sighed like a couch potato. It's so tough. I don't want to play the family drama card. Just want to chill. Might as well move out soon. I called my friend Candy about any good places to stay. Houses. I have plenty. Pick one, and I'll have it cleaned for you. Whoa. That sheer generosity almost took my breath. Even for me, the Booths only gave me a small apartment. Now I don't even have that. She added, your situation's tricky. Get a job. What else will you do? I turned over, sighed. No job doesn't make you crazy. Being a couch potato is awesome. Chilling is what I do. Candy went quiet on the other end, then said she's done helping me. Then she hung up. Holding the phone, I felt bitter. Trying hard is pointless. Lucy's out to get me no matter what. Everything I do makes me her fall guy. So I might as well do nothing, no sweat, no free ride for anyone. Lucy is the real deal, I'm fake. Everyone thinks I learned the truth when Lucy came back. But truth is, I knew as soon as they went to find her. Everyone's been keeping things from me, thinking I'd cause a scene, so I just played along, acting like I knew nothing. Today it made me see where I really stand in my parents' hearts. I'm grateful they kept me around, but they clearly made their choices too. After thinking it over, I decided to leave the booths. Everything belongs to the booths, so I'll just take myself. Mom stopped me. Linda, are you mad about what I just said? I shook my head. I shouldn't stay here any longer anyway. I only took my important documents with me. I'll pay back everything I've spent over the years. As I headed downstairs, I carried just a plastic bag with a card holder inside. I didn't even take my phone, just the SIM card. Lucy mocked me. With that kind of temper, what will you do? I nodded. Yeah, you're right, I'll be something else. Lucy was about to say more, but Mom stopped her. Lucy, Linda isn't in the wrong. That set off Lucy's anger. She shouted, what do you mean she's not wrong? I'm suffering outside while she's living well at home. Why? Mom immediately comforted her. I didn't mean that, Lucy, don't cry. I'll make her leave. In no time, I became her in Mom's words. I put my stuff on the table, opened the door, and planned to leave the home I'd known for nearly 20 years. Candy was waiting for me at the door. When she knew I was leaving with nothing, she drove over right away to pick me up. Mom looked at me like she wanted to say something, but didn't. Just as I was about to comfort her, she hit me with something else. Linda, since you're leaving, find some time to transfer your household registration to. She gently held Lucy. Lucy's been through too much. We can't let her down again. For a moment my mind went blank, but I replied, tomorrow then. Mom visibly relaxed. All right, take care on your way. I watched helplessly as Mom closed the booth's door on me without hesitation. From now on, this place has nothing to do with me. Candy took me to her villa, rambling on the way. Listen, why don't you come work with me? I turned to her. No. Candy. She looked serious. Give me one good reason you're not going to work. I handed her my phone. Is this reason good enough? Candy gasped in shock. Linda, how could you? She slid to her knees and hugged my legs. You're that stock market bigwig everyone's talking about. Since I was little, I had no interest in arts and crafts. No matter how many tutors my parents hired, they'd end up frustrated with me. As I got older and learned what my family did for a living, I grew interested in business. Sometimes when Dad had video conferences in the study, I'd sit in and listen. Dad didn't mind either. Until one time, I pointed out some issues with their proposed bid data, and something changed with Dad. He didn't let me in the study anymore, and would make me leave when he had meetings. I was upset, thinking I messed up last time and made him mad. I asked everyone at home what Dad liked, hoping to win him over. But instead, I overheard him and Mom arguing. Mom said, since Linda has a knack for business, why not let her learn from you? Dad replied impatiently, we can't let a girl's ambitions run wild. Soon she'll marry out. Are we supposed to hand the company over to an outsider? Mom shot back, Linda's our daughter. She'll definitely. Dad cut her off coldly. There's no definitely. You'd better get well and have a son. If not, I'll find someone else. I didn't hear Mom again. I knew she had given in. From then on, I was nothing more than a pawn for marrying into the Booth's alliances. Even Candy was angry when she heard this part of my past, and started trashing the villa. I remember how smart you were in middle school. Suddenly you were failing, and it was your parents doing all along. I shrugged. Now there's someone else to take my place and role. I'm free. Lucy is undoubtedly the perfect choice for alliance, prettier, more talented, and more eager for acceptance. I'm sure they'll be happy as a family. As for me, I'll just quietly curl up in a corner and count my money. Candy, you've been worrying for nothing. Have I ever told you how good I am at trading stocks? Candy was frustrated at my nonchalant attitude. Being someone who enjoys a laid-back life, why would I advertise my stock trading skills? If I don't feel like working, I won't starve. I sorted out the household registration move, and did it quickly. I even changed my name, cutting all ties with the booths for good. Dad sneered. I always knew you had wild dreams. Good you've changed your name. You're no longer a booth. Mom teary-eyed. Linda, why are you so stubborn? We did raise you all these years. I was confused. Weren't you the ones who asked me to transfer my registration? I did what you asked, even changed my name. And it still isn't enough? Do rich people think differently than us regular folks? Lucy threw a bill in my face. Since you're so capable now, pay the money back sooner. I glanced at the bill. Whose account do I transfer the money to? Lucy proudly showed a card. Dad says all this should be mine. As compensation, transfer it to me. The final bill matched my estimate, so I transferred the money promptly, amazed the family of 3 across from me. Lucy, stunned, looked at Dad. Did she take family money? Or did you secretly give it to her again? I frowned. Lucy, this money I earned with my own ability. Don't insult my intelligence. As for the card the booths gave me, I didn't touch a penny. Every penny I made in stocks came from my hard work. I didn't want my parents to check my financial activity and find out I was stock trading. It'd make them more wary of me. Even if I told myself I didn't care deep down, I didn't want them to distrust me. No one expected it to end this way. Mom tried to hold me. Linda. I took a step back. Mom, this might be the last time I call you Mom. Take care of yourself. Oh, my name is Molly now. That's the name I gave myself for my new life. After saying that, I turned and walked away. Behind me, I heard my mom's heart-wrenching scream. Linda. I didn't look back. They will never know that money was actually intended as a birthday surprise for them. I wanted to tell them head-on that I wasn't eyeing the booth's inheritance. I wanted to start my own business. My role wasn't to just dress up all pretty and be some ornament for admiration, nor to be used for some high society arranged marriage. I'm just me. The direct transfer was quite a shock to the Booth's family. They announced that I was kicked out of the Booths that very day. Suddenly, everyone knew I was just a fake, living in a nest that wasn't mine. Lucy, being the world's darling and a high-profile blogger, easily got the majority of the internet's support. People found my account and cyber-bullied me to vent for Lucy. Living the good life for so long in Lucy's place, and karma finally caught up. I heard you're a useless good-for-nothing, not capable of anything. No matter how much you polish it, it'll never compare to even one of Lucy's fingertips. Spent so much of the booth's money, and you can move the household register. But can't return the money? Yeah, return the money, it's all Lucy's. You spent so much, yet ended up a waste. Lucy must be so disappointed having you replace her for so long. I posted the bill, showing I've already paid back the booth's expenses. Though some were skeptical about how quickly I settled the bill, since it had come directly from the booth's own calculations, no one claimed I took their money. My sincere attitude helped ease the scrutiny over time. I thought things had settled down, then Lucy hinted at things online. She suggested the money came from the booths, and said how I'll never repay their kindness. You think a good-for-nothing like her had any money? Even crumbs from the booths could let her live lavishly forever. No idea how she has the face to say she paid the money back. Poor Lucy coming back to such a mess, worse than before. This foster girl is a traitor. She thinks money is enough? The Booths raised her for over a decade as their own daughter. How can she be so cold-hearted? Lucy seems happy in the new home, guessing her parents find her great. That's a relief. Lucy deserves better thought. The Booths stepped up too, saying Lucy was their most outstanding daughter. And both the chairman and his wife were proud. People dug up my past records, and comparing them, it seemed like a blessing for me to be kicked out of the Booths. Candy was furious, wanting to blacken Lucy's name, but I stopped her. Doing that will just give people more ammunition against us. No matter what, it's undeniable that the Booths raised me, and it's true Lucy suffered. In the public eye, I should just let Lucy vent until she goes too far before I react. Besides, not only the Booths can have transaction statements. After overhearing my parents arguing that time, I was frustrated and separated my personal card from the one the Booths gave me. I bought things I liked with my own card, secretly keeping them at Candy's place, always avoiding detection by my family. I was praised multiple times for being thrifty. I used to be overly guilty about it. Now I just feel thankful. I addressed the billing issue again, saying I'd never forget the booth's kindness and would help if ever needed. People mocked me, saying, "What help can you provide to a high society family like the Booths?" This topic skyrocketed on social media. Everyone debated how much it costs to raise a high society girl, pulling me into their ridicule. My transactions showed only deposits, no withdrawals. Lucy's attempt to say I took money from the Booths didn't hold up. The detailed statement showed I hadn't touched a dime from that card. In chats with my adoptive mom, she'd always tell me to spend money, and seeing me not touch it, she'd feel various reassurances and praise. As for my other expenses, the previous statement accounts for everything. Though outwardly I'm seemingly unaccomplished, I never squandered the Booth's resources. My adoptive father kept me from using the Booth's resources. He only wanted me to mingle with rich wives and expand connections, staying within the realm he set. Everything I achieved was through my own ability. The truth was clear as day. No matter how furious Lucy got, she didn't have a solid reason to slander me. People couldn't say much more about the situation, and instead kept hammering the fact that the Booths raised me out of kindness. I deleted all my social media accounts and shut out all the rumors. Finally, the whole thing died down. Lucky for her, Candy grumbled. I laughed. If you stick with me, your parents might freeze your card too. After all, I'm no longer with the Booths, and Candy doesn't gain anything by hanging with me. She pouted. What do they know? If I ever got booted, I'd just stick with you. Although she says that the Whites family is much wealthier than the Booths, plus there's no soap opera drama of switched daughters. Candy continues her rich girl life while I laze around her villa, waiting for direction. When even Candy thought I needed to get moving, a letter was sent my way. A charity auction gala? I looked at Candy with a puzzled expression, pointing at the invitation, and then at myself. Me. Candy nodded seriously. Of course it's you. You're not in the Booths, but you're still in my circle. I couldn't quite believe it. You didn't threaten the hosts, did you? Otherwise, who would randomly invite a fake to a banquet without causing other families embarrassment? Candy twitched the corner of her mouth. Anyway, you're free, right? Come with me and see if there's anything worthwhile. That's a pretty good reason. I love attending auctions, hoping to find some hidden gems. I agreed happily, and dressed up to join Candy at the event. As Candy's friend, I couldn't let her down. But then, as luck would have it, we ran into Lucy at the entrance. Just my luck. When Lucy saw us, her face dropped immediately. What bad luck, let's go. Candy was more agitated than I was, as if she wanted to devour Lucy. Ignoring Lucy's glare, I dragged Candy inside and sat down. Lucy wasn't too far from us. Seeing me look over, she gave a disdainful smile, holding up her number paddle. I thought, as the fake being targeted, I'm already giving the Booths plenty of face. I let go of what I was keen on, basically handing them to Lucy, yet she still seemed to have a problem with me. I was getting a headache. Being the good guy is tough. Next to me, Candy was nearly dying of laughter. She held her stomach, asking, "Are you a worm in Lucy's gut?" I frowned. What good would it do to sicken me? Otherwise, how do you always stop bidding right before Lucy does? Candy didn't get it, and I was pretty frustrated. She's much wealthier than I am. Originally, only Lucy came, but halfway through Mrs. Booth showed up, handing her a black card. Mother and daughter looked at me like they were staring at an enemy. I pressed my lips together, not intending to confront them. As the outsiders say, facing my adopted mother, I always had a softness. Once she genuinely cared for me, fighting for my rightful benefits. Now, I'm unsure if she'll keep fighting for Lucy. With the auction starting, Lucy was full of confidence. Everything I was initially interested in got snatched by her. Those in the hall knew about our situation. They watched like it was a spectacle. This annoyed me. I'm not a circus act. But Lucy kept at it, making me lose interest and stop caring about the items on stage. Once again, Lucy stole the show. Actually, Candy wasn't entirely right. I wasn't intentionally driving up prices. With a black card, Lucy could buy everything, and her parents would still back her up. I couldn't do that, only relying on what I made from trading stocks. No one's backup for me. If things went beyond my budget, no matter how much I liked them, I'd stop. Yet Lucy's insistence on targeting me meant she spent a lot of unnecessary money. I just happened to notice the negative expressions on Lucy and her mom's faces. After the event ended, I wanted to slip away unnoticed. But Lucy stopped me. She blocked me, glaring. "Happy now playing me like this?" Confused, I asked, "How did I play you? What do you think you are?" Lucy's face changed. "Did you just insult me?" Me? I swear, I wasn't insulting her, just innocently asking. I had to rephrase. "Do you think of yourself as valuable, but only for amusement?" I genuinely didn't get it. Even if Lucy wanted recognition with her talent show at the reunion, what's with today? She knew everyone was there for the drama, seeing us bid against each other. But Lucy didn't mind, just wanting to compete with me. Does taking things from me make you happy? Or does flaunting your true heiress status give you a presence? Lucy turned pale at my words. "Who do you think you are lecturing me now? I'm telling you, my goal is to take away what you have. Seeing you with nothing makes me happy." I spread my hands. "Go ahead, see what you can take." Lucy was momentarily speechless, staring at me with a hardened face. Realizing she couldn't get to me, she left in a huff. She already took my family and identity back. I was booted from the booths, changing my name. Everything I got from there stayed or was returned. All I had was Candy. Her family, the Whites, was more powerful than the booths. No one could sway her. Lucy couldn't take that. Beyond that, just the stocks I was holding. Unless all those stocks crashed, I wouldn't lose money. I was untouchable. Lucy couldn't find an entry point, only leaving with a frustrated "we'll see." Not sure if she even listened to anything I said. Candy rushed from the corner. "Did she give you trouble?" I shook my head. "She can't trouble me. Lucy is just someone seeking attention." In the short time since her return, it's been event after event, performing just like her adoptive mother wanted. To outsiders, it looked like a proud mother flaunting her daughter, but it felt more like a hired pianist. Lucy was over the moon, believing this was her gateway to the high society. But those insiders, the rich kids, saw the truth. Cherished daughters have their careers planned. Only pawns for marriage would be paraded for selection. Back in my days at the booths, I didn't really get myself into the whole crowd of reckless rich second gens. I also couldn't quite fit in with the promising heirs. Luckily, I had Candy by my side. She's kind of an outlier among the heirs, but we clicked. Too bad Lucy hasn't got this all figured out yet. She's probably sitting there making fun of me in her head for not using any resources at the booths. Lately, I've been going over my stocks with Candy, deciding which to sell and which to buy. She seemed puzzled when I got rid of the booth's shares without hesitation. The booths just secured some new land. They're doing so well now. "Why are you?" she asked. I just smiled. "The booths just found their daughter. What do you think the chances are they'll also find a lost son?" Candy suddenly got it. Lucy's recent return showed there's a gap in the booth's family management. A smart adoptive dad would definitely bring his illegitimate son back at the perfect moment. The stepmom would be totally caught off guard. She might think her husband brought in a son just to keep their daughter from inheriting the company, not realizing he already made a new home outside. The booths are becoming quite the show, with Candy grinning about it all. I just relaxed back on the sofa. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Ever since I found out about the illegitimate son, I knew it was just a matter of time before selling the shares was right. Now's perfect. I was scrolling online with a different account and noticed Lucy's recent posts shifted from elite teas to learning finance. It's like a signal saying she's taking over the booths. Fans were all over the comments, cheering her on, saying she's done what I couldn't manage years ago in a few days. Lucy acted all modest, claiming she just had a keen interest in finance and hoped to be helpful for the company. This would really get to my adoptive dad since he hates his daughter being involved in company matters. Neither I nor Lucy would be an exception. Sure enough, the booths soon announced another lost kid found. He's supposedly Lucy's twin brother. The official account even stated he'd be their next successor. They mentioned some absurd story about him being one of the chairman's assistants, only discovered when they had health checkups at the company. Anyone with half a brain could see through this. It's just the chairman, displeased with Lucy going ahead without him, issuing a warning. Whether the son's from the main family, only they know. Candy was on her phone, gobbling up the gossip. Wow, the Booths have been arguing non-stop recently. I heard your mom even smashed an antique vase. I figured if she got her hands on that, it was probably the Ming Dynasty porcelain in the living room. Must be really mad. The chairman spent a fortune on it. Lucy stopped showing up at gatherings. Word is your dad gave her a serious scolding. Candy was on a roll, pulling me to dive into the group chats full of rich kid gossip. Living in the same neighborhood, news spreads fast. Seeing the Booths' drama unfold was giving me personal satisfaction. Once we finished catching up with all the drama, we realized the Booths were trending again. This time, it was some revealing scandal. Apparently, somebody posted a video of Mr. Booths with a woman who wasn't Mrs. Booths and their son from 2 years ago. So, the recently found son was actually his longtime secret. Using this daughter-son drama, he managed to bring his son into the family officially. But Mrs. Booths was a different story. Once the lies were all on the table, she'd come to know what her husband had been doing. This entire trending topic was her form of protest. Not just this blatant secret son but Mr. Booth's betrayals over the years, all exposed with videos and pics online. Clearly Mrs. Booths had had enough. As the Booth stocks plummeted, Candy was thrilled while also coordinating to have her family take advantage. She hesitated for a moment. Do you think what I'm doing is kinda unethical? Oh, surprise! This girl has a conscience. I assured her with a smile. Business is like a battlefield. It's all about who has the skill. Just like the whites gaining from this and grabbing projects the Booths previously took over. It's just the name of the game among the elite. The Booth scandals were entirely their doing. Whether they can emerge from this depends on their choices. I expected Lucy would come to me eventually. She looked troubled, missing the flair she had when she first came back to the Booths. Did you know the Booths were a mess from the start? Is that why you did nothing? She asked. I raised an eyebrow. I just wanted to be a pile of unshaped mud. A bottomless pit? How would I know? Lucy chuckled bitterly. People said you were a good student, and that mom always thought you had a knack for business when you were young, which is why I read all those finance books. She hadn't expected a simple social media post to trigger such a scandal for the Booths, and she didn't even benefit from it. I ignored her, casually sipping my coffee, waiting for her to get to the point. Lucy couldn't hold back. The Booths are in a bad spot right now, you know? I glanced at her. With all the chaos about the Booths kids, who wouldn't know? Lucy offered a cool smile. You're too smart not to have seen it. I'm getting a bit impatient. If you're just going to keep talking nonsense, I don't think it's worth wasting time. I almost shoved the Booths aren't trustworthy in her face before. And she thought I was trying to steal her identity. Now look where we are. And she's still thinking about nonsense. I totally misjudged her. Just as I was about to leave, Lucy grabbed my arm and spoke sincerely. I'm here to invite you to collaborate with me. Huh. I said, digging in my ear. Did I hear that right? You want to collaborate with me? Lucy nodded. I hope you won't let me down. Me? Let you down? I almost laughed at how ridiculous that was. Coming to me for a collaboration with this attitude? I guess she hasn't learned yet. Seeing my expression, Lucy quickly corrected herself. I hope I won't let you down. Too late for that. I heard the truth, I said, shaking off Lucy's hand and straightening my clothes. You should head back. I need to think about this. Lucy was anxious. Do you really need to think about it? Don't you hate the Booths? I must have overestimated Lucy. What nonsense are you talking about? Why would I hate the Booths? They raised me for nearly 20 years. I can hardly repay them, let alone act ungrateful. Lucy didn't seem to get it, using such a laughable reason to invite me to collaborate. I think our collaboration is off the table. I don't want her dragging me down. Is that what being a heroine means? You can just throw out some excuse and get followers? Too bad I'm smart enough to see through it. Soon after parting ways with Lucy, I heard she was marrying into the Whites. Candy was pacing the villa, finally accepting the reality with a sigh. Unbelievable, she's actually marrying into our family. Not surprising to me. After failing to collaborate with me, naturally, Lucy would find another way to protect herself. If she works hard enough, using her husband's family influence to secure her share of the Booth stock is all she needs for a worry-free life. That's pretty much her only short-term option with no experience in high society battles. I just didn't expect her to actually land the whites. Candy has always disliked Lucy, so becoming relatives must be torture for her. I've got something to cheer you up, I said, pulling up the stock market with a bright, red trend chart for Candy to see. Candy was stunned. When did you buy that? When their scandal was at its peak, I replied, recalling how Candy was secretly contacting her family back then. Who knows if the whites made a move? Candy sighed. One family can't handle it alone. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to marry into the Booths. I should have realized that getting the Booths to agree to the union came at a great cost. Not to mention, the whites had already set their sights on the Booths' projects. Looks like the Booths will have to pay dearly for this one. Let's just wait and see. I'm curious to see how far Lucy can climb with the whites' influence. Such high society unions don't happen overnight. It ties both companies' interests, and until everything's clear, things won't progress. By the time the marriage news was announced, I had already acquired scattered shares of the Booths and secured a spot on the board. At the monthly board meeting, my adoptive father was almost shocked when he saw me. What are you doing here? Such a question, you'd think we had a huge grudge or something. I shrugged, naturally. I'm here as a shareholder and board member. The board members at the Booths Holdings each have significant shares, and I only have 10%. Not much, but even my adoptive mother only holds 14%. So by comparison, I'm not doing too bad. For the first time, these once dismissive uncles and aunts actually acknowledged me in the meeting. Afterward, my adoptive father asked me to stay behind. He gave me this smug look like he saw through me. All right, name your price for your shares. I wasn't going to drag it out. 100 million. That's me being nice since we used to be family, seriously undercutting the price. My adoptive dad was fuming. I really underestimated you. I took it as a compliment. Thanks for the praise, Chair. But if you're not buying, someone else will. The Booths Holdings is hanging by a thread, and plenty of people are circling like sharks. Pass on him, and I'm sure another shareholder will want to deal. Of course, that just ticked him off even more. After a pause, he finally said 3 days we'll sign the transfer contract. All right, I replied cheerfully. A nice, small goal that'll keep me comfy for a long time. As word spread that I was selling my shares to Mr. Booths, plenty came sniffing for intel. Some even offered more to cut in on the deal. But I turned them all down. I'm waiting on a bigger fish. On the last day of the 3-day deadline, that fish made its appearance. Sitting in front of me with a scrutinizing gaze was my old adoptive mom, the well-kept Mrs. Booths. I should have known you weren't one to stay in the shadows. Feeling a bit kinder towards her, I brewed her some beauty tea. Sadness flickered in her eyes. You remembered I liked this tea. Of course I nodded. I always remembered. Even though we were never as close as they were with Lucy, I still remembered their preferences by heart. She dabbed her eyes. I'm sorry for everything. If only we could. I knew what she wanted to say. If she hadn't kicked me out, we could have teamed up against my adoptive dad and his illegitimate child. But it's all in the past now, isn't it? Mrs. Booths pulled out a check, pushing it my way. Here's 150 million for your 10% stake. I lifted my eyes to meet hers, her tired yet determined gaze. All those conflicts must have shattered the relationship she once had with my adoptive father. With this 10% and your 14%, she would become the Booth's second largest shareholder, the biggest one being my adoptive dad. The battle between the couple is about to begin. I can't wait to watch this drama unfold. So I happily signed the contract, grabbed the money and left. Stay as far away from the battlefield as possible. Only a fool would stick around to get blamed. By the time I got on the plane, my phone was blowing up with calls from my adoptive father. Looks like he found out I sold my shares. Not my problem anymore. I turned off my phone without a care and boarded a flight to Iceland. Every now and then, I'd hear from Candy about the chaos at the Booths and how the couple was at each other's throats. You really just sold 10% of your shares like it was nothing. Candy never hid her glee in front of me. All right, celebrate for a few days. But don't forget what the whites need to do, she reminded. As a newly entrusted VP, Candy was busy swallowing up the Booth's supply chains. I sold my shares and stirred the pot. nabbing a cool 100 million as a service fee. My adoptive mom got shares to challenge my adoptive dad. Candy made a profit, and I took the money and roamed free. We all have bright futures ahead. After leisurely touring over a dozen countries, Candy called me, saying it was time to come back and watch the show. I happily boarded a plane back home with my luggage. Once I landed, I quickly went through the updates Candy shared. Turns out my adoptive father had a stroke because of my adoptive mom. She dragged the women he kept outside into the company, filled the CEO's office with eye candy, and turned the place upside down. The booths suffered another blow, and the stock prices dropped. The board demanded my dad step down as chairman. My mom then sued to get their joint assets back, reclaiming the villas and designer bags he gave away, which evened out the money spent on buying shares. Dad got disgraced, lost his shares, and in a fit of anger, had a stroke and was left paralyzed. As for the illegitimate son, my mom had him locked up for embezzlement. The Whites and the Booths ended their engagement, leaving the Booths entirely in my mom's hands. The Whites stopped crushing the Booths, with both families now seeking a win-win. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I'd return to find the Booths owned by the Whites. I only held back because of you, Candy told me. At a dinner, she ran into my mom, ranting about my dad's past deeds. Had my mom insisted on keeping me back then, she wouldn't be all alone now. That single comment had my mom in tears. She still misses you, but she's too scared to ask you back. She thinks she ruined you, Candy said regrettably. I don't feel like she ruined me. She couldn't give me what I wanted, but she kept away what I didn't. Otherwise, I wouldn't have grown up to live on my terms. And I believe that when she wanted me to get along with Lucy, she genuinely wished for me to stay with the Booths. She just loved her own daughter more, that's all. After resting overnight, I went to see my adoptive dad in the hospital. The moment he saw me, he got emotional. Calm down, don't stress, I said, holding him back. He glared at me, mumbling incoherently, guh. I chuckled. He couldn't even say get out clearly. He must be miserable, right? You never thought, huh? 10 years ago, you looked down on me. But here you are, bested by me and dethroned by a woman. How did it end up like this? He got riled up again, trying to hit me, but I easily pushed him back down. See, you can't even punish me now. What's next for you? Thoughtfully, I added, or you can just watch as I slowly transform the Booths. How's that? He was furious, but could only stare at me helplessly. He tried to talk, only to drool all over himself. Bloody effective, stabbing him in the heart with what he treasures most. I felt done there, so I got up to leave. Then I saw my mom standing at the door. Seeing my calm face, she rushed to me. Are you serious? Would you really come back? Guilt was written all over her face, eyes welling up. I shrugged off her hand. Nah, just came to rile him up. With that, I walked out of the hospital. Why would I go back? A cast-out daughter, and a newly found biological one. How would she choose between us both? My capability is obvious to everyone. If I took over the Booths, would Lucy tolerate it? Plus, the Booths are just ordinary shares I bought, no need to hang on to one tree. Saying I'd changed the Booths was just my way of rebelling against the old girls, shouldn't be too wild mentality. Why can't girls be wild? Who says we can't be? Nonsense. We should live true to ourselves. In our own world, only with a spirited heart can we control everything. The end.